Okay, I'm not saying you need to erode your methodology that you have been using. Okay, the only thing is that if this method I would be teaching is going to help you, so as you can see in the slide in front of you, I'm going to be teaching three things under the reading. I'm going to be teaching structure of reading, that is how to read effectively within time frame and capture major things in your write-up without wasting time. And number two thing is that I'm going to go into some question types that are very difficult. One of them is matching task, and another one is true, false, not given. So, but today I will be starting with a reading structure. Yes, how to read effectively, because I've used it many times and it has helped a lot of students. The thing there is that it can be really daunting the first time I'm introducing the idea to you. You can be open and you can use it alongside whatever you have been doing to help you upgrade your score. Okay, now, whether you're having challenge in one question type or the other, ability to read well will help you. Okay, so I will go into the thing that I would want you to look for in every write-up or every reading passage you come across. Okay, now structure of text, that is the structure of reading. Note, every text, that is passage, is broken into paragraphs. And each paragraph is broken into three main components, sometimes two. That's why you see that I highlighted the two first components into in red and the last one into black. Now, if you've done any writing task with me, you will notice that these are the ways that you are required to write, and most of the journals or most of the things you'll be asked to read are also structured in this way. However, there are two things you are actually on the lookout for. The most important one is the main idea, and that is what we will go in tonight. And because if you understand the main idea of a particular paragraph, you would likely be able to tackle questions like matching task questions that are very difficult. And also, you would be able to properly highlight your point without having to read your passage over and over again. Because one of the problems you can run into in IELTS is to read your passage more than once. It leads you to a lot of problems. So this one I will teach you to read once, capture the main idea, and when you capture the main idea, then you'll be able to identify the key actions that describe the main idea. So the first thing I will do now is to introduce you to the main idea. So when the all things that I broke down into A and B is what I broke down into this concept that I'm highlighting in green for your sake now. So I will go straight into identify your main idea so as not to be stressed when reading. And the reason for that is that you don't need to cram anything. And I will say it, I emphasize, don't cram anything, but you need to jot down things. Don't cram, because it's a cumbersome exam on its own. So don't cram, don't memorize anything. Date, names, number, don't. You only need to, I will teach you how to do them here. Okay, so don't cram, don't memorize. It would not help you, or it will make it very, very hard, especially when you have a very complex as reading passage. Yes. Okay. Now, how do you identify the main idea? That's why I said guide to recognizing the main idea. The thing there is that you need to say what or who is it constantly talking about. The first sentence, what's it talking about? The second sentence, what is it talking about? The third sentence, what is it talking about? Okay, so you need to find the central person, the central theme, or the central concept that the whole paragraph is talking about. So that's it. And sometimes any key name, word, entity being constantly mentioned will help you. Yes, will help you. That is the thing. It will seriously help you. So I'm going to put forward a passage now. I will be slow a bit because I don't know how fast the slide is transiting at your end. So this is a paragraph in a passage, and this is a matching task. But for now, forget about matching task. Concentrate on understanding your paragraph within a minute. You've understood the paragraph, you've decoded everything the paragraph is talking about. Okay, now let's go and I will read. At the beginning of the 20th century, the American grocery store offered comprehensive services. Okay, so what is it talking about here? American grocery store services. Let's go ahead. And when you see a colon, for those who have done some writing with me, it means the person wants to list or explain what has been said before. So the customer will ask help from people behind the counter. He's trying to describe the comprehensive service. Okay, call the clerk for item they like, and then the clerk will wrap the item up. So for the purpose of saving time, customer had to ask delivery boys go in person to send the list of what they intend to buy to the store in advance and then when to pay for the goods later. Generally speaking, these grocery stores sold only one brand for each item. Okay, you can see such early chain store as A and P store, although containing full services, were very time consuming and inefficient. Please let me change my power source. There's a problem with my lightning here. I said the first thing you need to do is to identify the main thing that the paragraph is talking about, and I've read about maybe 3 sentences in the whole paragraph. And at the beginning, very beginning of 20th century, the American grocery stores offer comprehensive service. Then he went to describe the type of services they offer. Okay, so the main idea is centered about what? The type of services offered by American grocery stores in the 20th century. So maybe the first sentence gave you the idea, because most of the time the first sentence will give you the idea. Some of the time it will not be, you need to read further. If you are still confused, you will discover that I said something. So here are the main thing: American grocery store. Okay, Customers will ask for help. That's describing the services from people behind the counter, that is the clerk. They will ask for the item and they went to describe it. For the purpose of saving time, customers had to ask delivery boys to go ahead. Okay, what they sold, that was said. So then it keep referring to the grocery store at every point in time. Grocery store, grocery store. So all the theme there is number one, it kept mentioning grocery store. So the main idea is the type of service rendered in American grocery store. The time, 20th century. Okay, so if I have to break my main idea down now, I'll just say services by American grocery store. I want us to be limited to the main idea for now. Yes, main idea. Later, I will tell you the things that you need to highlight so that immediately you highlight them. The purpose for this is that when you properly capture your main idea, for example, if I have a paper and I said PA, that is paragraph A, this is what I have. Services by American grocery store in the, okay, let me say 20th century, period. That is it. The thing there is that I'll read another paragraph now and try to see, and I will show you some question. If you are able to locate, I'm not interested in you getting the answer for now. If you're able to locate where you can pick the question. Okay, this is number 2. Paragraph 2, born in Virginia, Clarence Saunders left school at the age of 14 in 1895 to work first as a clerk in grocery store. So you should note that the grocery store is the particular thing they are talking about. But somebody, a new dimension has entered. Somebody came to work in a particular grocery store. During his work, the second sentence is still referring to this person. He came to work. During his work in the store, he found that it was very difficult for people to buy things there. Without the assistance of computer at that time, shopping was performed in a quite backward way. I haven't noticed that. So let me even stop here. What's it talking about? A boy who worked in a grocery store and possibly his discoveries. Okay, his discovery about the inefficiency of the system. So from here, a boy who works in the grocery store and his discovery, that is the main idea I'm tagging to here. I haven't noticed that this inconvenient shopping mode could lead to tremendous consumption of time and money. Saunders, with great enthusiasm and innovation, proposed unprecedented solution. Let the consumer do the self-service in the process of shopping, which might bring a thorough revolution to the whole industry. One, what was happening? The thing that was happening there was a boy working in the grocery store, discovered the problem, recommended solution. That was all. Okay. So now, a boy worked in the grocery store, discover problem, propose solution. That's the whole thing that happened. In this way, you have captured everything, all that happened in the second paragraph. So I will label this paragraph PB, paragraph B, because if I have a jotter beside me, when I have jotted out and a question is asked with my main idea, I should be able to know. That's why I say don't memorize. It's going to cost you a lot of time. Okay, so I should be able to take note of where the question is from without memorizing too much details, though I will ask you to still jot down some things. So that is how to get the main idea of a particular paragraph. So the first paragraph is service by American grocery store, 20th century. The second paragraph is a boy walk in a grocery store, discover problem, propose solution. Okay, I want to go to the question section, though I'm not interested in getting it right. I just want to be able to see, with this few information, is it possible for me or you to discover where a particular question comes from, even if you are not certain of the answer? Okay. Look at this. This is question 1, layout of Clarence Saunders' store. Was there anything in reference to that? Absolutely no. Because they didn't give you a layout of a store. What they gave you in the paragraph 1 was how the American store was generally. The boy walked in a store, discovered a problem, and proposed it. A reference to reduction by chain store in labor costs. No, because at this point in time, it was still saying there was high costs of doing everything. How Clarence Saunders' idea has been carried out, none mentioned it. Because it was only talking about his idea in the second paragraph. Okay, how people used to shop before Clarence Saunders' store? Possibly. Because they gave us an example of what happened, how people used to shop before. We've not encountered Clarence Saunders' store, but they gave us how people used to shop before. So that's why you don't have the big idea, all the idea, because you've not read all the paragraph, but you know which paragraph is not answering which. How people used to shop. So it means that how people used to shop, maybe possibly paragraph 1. That's why I'm saying possibly. A description of economic success brought by Saunders' store. No reference. In the 2 paragraphs we've read, I think it's only 4 that possibly could go to paragraph A, because you capture the main idea. So that is the issue. Now let's go back into the paragraph now, because there is one more thing I'm going to teach, which will now make every paragraph clear. But the first thing that you need to understand is to pick the main idea without stress, without using the word that the paragraph used. Break it down into your simple word. This is a very long paragraph, and I'm still going to do the main idea for you. So now I will read. In 1902, Saunders moved to Memphis to put his perspective into practice. So now, one of the strategy I'm going to teach is still hidden, because one of the strategy I'm going to teach later is that when you are reading the paragraph, read a paragraph, check your question. Don't finish all the passage before checking your question. I will still teach that when you now start answering question. So, but the thing there is that this paragraph is talking about Sanders putting his idea to practice. Let's go. In 1902, Sanders moved to Memphis to put his perspective into practice, that is, to establish a grocery wholesale store. So after a while, he went to establish his own store, put his own idea to practice. In his newly designed store, he divided. Can you see? This is his idea. He divided the store into 3 different areas. Front lobby, serve as an entrance and exit. What was he talking about here? The thing there is that his idea put to practice. And number 2 thing, these are his ideas. So this part was talking about Sanders' ideas and implementation. Yes. So Sanders' idea implementation. Look at it. A front lobby serve as entrance and exit, as well as the checkout front. A sales department was deliberately designed to allow customers to wander around the aisle and select their needed grocery. In this way, the clerk would not do the unnecessary work, but arrange more delicate aisle. Yeah, these are explanation that sometimes when you get the main gist, I ask you to skip. Yes. Okay, I skip. In the gallery above, okay, this is the 3rd part. The sales department supervisor can monitor the customer without disturbing them. Stockroom, where fridge were placed to maintain fresh products, is another section of his grocery store only for staff to enter. Also, the new shopping design and layout could accommodate more customers to go shopping simultaneously and lead to some unimaginable phenomenon, impulse buying, and later supermarket. Okay, the main idea here, if you can see, sometimes you don't even need to use, because when you capture the main idea, you may use a different language. When I capture the main idea, I may use different language. But the whole essence is that you have captured the main purpose of the so here, what I will call PC. Okay, Sanders' idea of store implemented. Yes, okay. Okay, so I can say implemented, okay, a different shopping format or layout. So that's the whole thing that it was talking about. And now I want to take us to the question again so that it can be clear this time around. Look at it. Layout of Karen Sanders' store. It was there in that C. The reference to the reduction in chain by labor cost, no. How Karen Sanders' idea has been carried out, possibly, because we have been noted, look, you may use any letter more than one. So it's possible that C is answering question 1 and question 3. That's it. So it's becoming clear now that when you capture the main idea, you are able to get some questions clearly. And you must, as you are reading a paragraph, go to the question. Familiarization with the question makes the exam easier for you. So how people used to shop before, yes, I have said that could be in paragraph A. Yes, because it describes what the shopping for before Clarence. Now they've given us Clarence Sanders' store. So it's clear now that this A will be answering question 4, and possibly C will be answering question 3 and question 1. So now I want to go into paragraph 4. This paragraph 4 is crazy too, just like the one I gave you. Or don't let me take you to paragraph 4 because you might say I'm wicked. I will come read paragraph 4 myself. I want you to read this paragraph 5 and give me the main idea, please. The main idea. When you give me the main idea, whether you capture it properly or vaguely, I will open the question. You will determine which question it can answer. You can send, if you have gotten it, I'll be giving maybe 3 more minutes because this is your first time into this type of reading. Just give you 3 more minutes. Okay, still waiting for your response. 1 more minute, please. It's about 5 minutes we've spent. expecting you to still meet troubles because this is the first time I'm introducing this concept, but it is easier. Don't memorize. What's the general thing is it talking about? What is it referring to? What's the keyword that is mentioned? Okay, someone has sent answer. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you gave it a try. You said self-service store. That is not the answer. Okay, one more minute and I will be talking about it. I gave you the answer immediately. Okay, someone has sent something. I agree more with this. And I will post what the person sent so as to help us. He said proliferation of Sunday store and Piggy Wiggy growth rates that was recorded. And yes, the whole thing was about the growth in store, increase in the number of store and growth, financial growth, everything. Look at it. Piggy Wiggy and this kind of self-store soared at that time. Soared means increased. Look at the word. So look at the word. In the first year, Sanders opened 9 branches in Memphis, just first year alone. Meanwhile, Sanders immediately applied for patent, that's part of growth, for the self-service concept and began to franchising Piggy Wiggy store. So he opened, he franchised. Thanks to the employment of self-service and franchising, the number of Piggy Wiggy increased again. So it's proliferation of his store, whether the franchise or the one he opened. So all he was talking was about increase in the number of store. Then when it got here, it now went into the financial success. Piggy Wiggy sold 10 million, worth of 1.3 billion today in groceries, which made it the 3rd biggest grocery store. So it was talking about growth, success, growth, increase of the Sunday store. So this person really captured it. So irrespective of all the grammar they were talking about, it was all about growth. So now let me take you to the question and see which one it can answer. How people used to, okay, description of the economic success. I think this one is absolutely clear that question 5 is being answered from that paragraph. Okay, now how people used to shop, no, that has been answered. How coincident idea was carried out, I think that has been answered. A reference to reduction by chain store in labor cost, I don't think that was referred to. So you see now that if you capture the main idea, you'll be able to pinpoint where the which paragraph answers the question. It's very critical in matching task and in other question. Very, very critical. So that is it. So now, for the sake of others, I will come into that long paragraph that I said I didn't want to give you so that you won't say I'm wicked because it is long. It is still the same thing if it is long, cumbersome, or hard. Just don't memorize anything. So on September 6, 1916, Sonder performed the self-service revolution in the US by opening the first, okay, Wiggy Piggly. So I think that's why some people might be confused about the Wiggy Piggly issue. By the tonsil at the entrance. Okay, what was the main issue here? Introduction of the self-service. Okay, and you will see that it will continue to mention that. Quite distinct from those in other grocery store. It's now comparing them with other grocery store. Customers in Piggy Wiggy. Okay, so it explained that self-service was introduced, then went into explaining how self-service worked. Look at it. Quite distinct from those of, okay, customers in Piggy Weekly chose the goods on the shelf and pay the item all by them. So it was describing what the self-service revolution was about. Inside the Piggy Weekly, shoppers were not at the mercy of staff, just describing the main features of the self-service. The thing there is that it is easy for you to just get tied down by everything that is being mentioned. Don't. Discover the central point. The central point will make you read less. Once you discover it, as big as this paragraph is, I know that it's talking about all the features of self-service. Okay, they were free to roam, check out the product, and get what they needed by their hand. There, the items were clearly priced, and no one forced the customer to buy things they didn't. As a matter of fact, the biggest benefit that the Piggy Weekly brought to customer was money saving. We have gone through the question about 4 times now, and this money saving that I just read answered one question. So that's why one of the strategies, read a paragraph, go to the question, read a paragraph, because the more you get familiar with the questions, the easier your life will become. Okay, self-service was optimistic for improvement. It's good for both customers. Okay, now it's talking about the benefits. The first thing is talking about the future, then it came into the benefits. So because it says it's good for both, so note the keywords they are using. According to George Allen, a professor and director, forget that those ones, they are distractions. The only thing I normally say is that note the name of the person. I will get to that in the second concept. Because there is a second concept. The first thing is the main idea. So let me go to the question now, and I'm going to reveal other questions. So let me say this paragraph is talking about self-service revolution. Yeah. And it was talking about the features and the benefits. Okay. I'm going to review that question we've been going over many times. Okay. A reference to reduction in the change labor cost. That was the question I said that one answered. So question 1 to 5 has been answered. Though we are not picking the answer because I don't want us to be in a rat race and so much be entangled with wanting to find the answer without understanding how to read effectively. Now I'll go into other questions from the paragraph we have read without there's one more paragraph, a very short one. This is F. Karen Sidoff died, the son that died in 1953, leaving abundant legacy, mainly symbolized by Piggy Wiggy, a pattern of which spread expressive. So this one, PF, I would say PF is death of Sonda and his legacy. Okay, so now we have been familiar with these 5 questions, and now I want to bring all the main ideas together at a point so that it will help us to, if you write them together in a paper, so that you will know, so that it will help you to quickly know where the answer to a particular question is. That's why I'm bringing them together. PA. Here, you will see that even if I don't know the answer, if my summary main idea is able to point me to the paragraph, I can go get it in the paragraph. You don't need to memorize anything. Okay, PB. This is it. PC. Okay, now let me go to PD and PE. Yeah, this is PD. I didn't label it, so I will label it when I put it there so that I don't forget the paragraph. Okay, this is PD. Okay, PD. Okay, PE. Thank God it was one of us that gave us this. And yes. So this is PE. Okay, now all these questions 1 to 5 has been answered, but the one I want to go to is questions 6 to 10. Okay, question 6. Clarence Saunders' job was as dash in a grocery store. What paragraph answers that? I want you to send in your answer, because if you, from this thing, yes, from what we've read, without much ado, yes, somebody said, you said the answer, but I'm not interested. I want you to tell me by the thing we said what paragraph it was. Because, yes, first paragraph, somebody mentioned it quickly. That person had a magnetic brain, fantastic. But people who couldn't mention it, even if you can't remember, yes, it's the first paragraph. Even if you can't remember, by the fact that we've been able to decode where it worked, you can quickly go to the first paragraph. Yes, even if you miss the first paragraph, which I know most of us missed, look at it. It wasn't talking about him in the first paragraph here. It was in paragraph 2 that it introduced him. So if you go to the this thing, if you go to this, a boy walked. I didn't mention his name for a purpose. So his first job was in paragraph B. Now, even if you miss it, the major thing is that if you go to the paragraph, you didn't see it, you will know that it is the paragraph immediately after it. So, and if I go into the next concept, you will be able to answer it without missing the paragraph. Look at question 7. In Clarence Standard store, people pay for good acts. In his store, where was his store mentioned? In what paragraph? In his store, paragraph C. That's where you're going to look for that answer. So you will see that if you adequately capture the main idea, you don't need to memorize, you just need to go to paragraph C now. What's the question? People pay for good acts. Where do they pay for the good? In his store. So we are going to paragraph C to look out where people pay for the store. Okay, a front lobby serve as entrance as well as check out. Okay, even if it is not, a sales department was deliberately check out. If it's not clear, look at it. I want to, but this is where it is, because a checkout means something, but if it is not clear, we'll go to the next paragraph. Okay, also this shopping new design could accommodate customers to go shopping and lead to more. No, that's not what we are looking for. It's looking for how they pay. If this one does not do it, let me look at the next paragraph. But since checkout is here, even if there is no paragraph that say pay directly, checkout means that's where they are paying. Okay, so let's look at this, because it went into checkout is still the same thing. So that is it. So where did they pay? Checkout. Because both paragraphs mention pay at checkout, checkout, checkout. Okay, so that is it. Now let's come to the next one. Customers will be under surveillance. Where was that? Even if you can't remember, I think it was where it was describing the format of his store. Yes. Is either C or D again, the format of his store. Yes. So the question is, what's the question again? So now you are having a clear idea of where your answer is, even if you have not memorized anything. So let's go to PC, because it said there they divided the store into 3. Okay. Yes. I've forgotten the question. Don't mind me. I don't remember too many things because I don't cram. Under surveillance, PC. Okay, let's go to PC. Okay, supervisor can monitor. In the gallery above, supervisor can monitor the customer without disturbing them. That's monitor means surveillance. Okay. At the, where are they at the, okay, I will have to go to it again. What's the name of the place? I didn't pick the name. In the gallery. That's the name. Okay, so I don't need to memorize anything. Another area in the store, was called, you know, he has mentioned 2 areas which was only accessible to internal staff. It was still under PC because that's where they mentioned the arrangement of the store. Okay, PC. So, yes, somebody remembered everything. Okay, this was it. He said, okay, stockroom where large fridge were placed in the main fresh products, another section of the grocery store only for staff. So, though I couldn't remember it, but I know that that's where they described the store in details. In clearance sedan shopping design, much work was done by, I think I know it without even going. Much work was done by customers because that was the purpose from the beginning. So we've been able to answer 10 straight questions without stress. But now that's the first part, understanding the main idea. Now I want to take us back to the most voluminous paragraph because most of us can see this and get absolutely scared. You don't need to. What you are looking for is the keyword. On September 6, 19, Sonder performed self-service revolution, opening the word, the first, which features at that. Okay, quite distinct from, it now started describing that store. So the main idea is the self-service revolution store, main features. It started describing it. So that's it. Okay. That is it about reading the main idea. To be very candid, I want you to go back and implement this. Even if you've had another idea, try to see, can this make me more accurate, stress me the less? Yes, that's what it's going to do to you. Stress you the less, make you more accurate. And before we go, I'm going to give the second concept. Now, you will be more precise. You will be more precise. So the first thing I talked about was the main idea. Yes, so I'm coming back to the explanation I gave now on every paragraph. So so the next thing I'm going to go into is identifying the key actions and the key actors. This will eliminate your possibility of coming back to the paragraph Yes, okay. Possibility of coming back to the paragraph, or reduce the need to come back, or make you more accurate or more sure on what paragraph the question is. Yes. So number one is the key action and the key actor. And how do you do that? Let me provide guideline on the key actor, on the key action. Give guide to recognizing, guide, okay, for the key actors, actions, concept, I'm elaborating it now, dates, names. Those are the things you need to highlight, because names, anything, a terminology, though I've put concept, key guide for key actors, action, concept, dates. But the thing you are looking for is what's the key action, what's the key actor. Every other thing that is mentioned, you need to highlight it in the paragraph. Let me go to paragraph 1. Okay, self-service at American store. Okay, what were the other key actions? Okay, so I can say here, it depends on you, how customers were served. That's number 1, because he said how they were served. I don't need to memorize it. Yeah, they go to ask for help from the clerk, and sometimes they also say their errand boys should go ahead to buy, give them, these are the things we list, they will help them find it, then later they go pay. So how customers were served, that's it. You can use another language, but that is the whole thing, because customer would ask for help from people behind the, for the item they like, and then the clerk will wrap it up. How customer was served. If I get the main thing that happened, I don't need to memorize those things. For the purpose of saving time, customer act to, okay, if they want to save time, what they do. Yeah. I don't need to start saying they send boy. The only thing is that when I highlight this thing, when I'm looking for the answer, I know where it is. Okay, generally speaking, this grocery store sold only branded item. Okay, sold one brand per item, period. Such early chain stores as example, they gave an example, e.g. A and P. I don't want to be looking for it about if it was mentioned many times. Although containing full services, we are very time consuming. Problem. Time consuming. I can even write problem alone, time consuming. I've been able to highlight everything in this paragraph. That is it. But if you capture the main idea, your problem is about 80 or 90% solved. Yes. So you just write, if you capture the main idea in 30 seconds, 45 seconds while reading, all these jottings will take you less than 30 seconds. And in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, you are done with a paragraph, even the most complex of paragraph. Answering your question takes you 10 seconds if you know where the answer is, except for technical questions, true, false, not given. I will go to that, possibly in the 3rd lecture. Okay, so let me go to the 2nd paragraph now. This 2nd paragraph, as a matter of fact, I think I have described everything in the 2nd paragraph. He worked. The only thing I need to highlight was that age, 14. I told you anything numbers, dates, 1895, you need to mention it so that you will know the particular paragraph. You don't need to be looking around. Just jot it down. Okay. So if I want to enter any other thing, no computer. I'm just writing it because I have time. No computer. Okay. Discover problem. Yes. What are the problem? If you want to describe it, problem was time, money consuming. That this process was time, money consuming. So okay, money, time consuming. Okay, he proposed, then proposed solution. Yes, that's it. Proposed solution. His proposed solution was what? Solution. Self-service. Period. I have captured the whole paragraph. But the major thing here, you know, I'm still repeating it, is the main idea. Okay, now I will take you to the third paragraph. As a matter of fact, some people already know what's in this paragraph. I want you to pick out the main idea, the key things that you need to state down and send it to me so that I know that you have understood the concept. At the end of the class, I will send you this slide. This slide contains all the questions in this segment, question 1 to 13, and also the answers. I'm not particular about the answer, so you can go answer the question after the class. But next week, by the time we meet, I want you to be very good in using this concept. Okay, so I will take us to paragraph 3 now. I want to see the key actions. I want you to pick them out and highlight them here. Okay, someone has said something. Okay, someone picked something. Okay, fine. Yes, I asked you. Okay, you are still writing. Fine. Yes. Okay, I've seen answers from 3 people, 2 people. Yes. Okay, all of you are giving different things. I want you to highlight those things you won't like to forget. When you get to the question, they will easily stick out. Yes, for you, most of us are picking different things, all of them very, very important. In the next 1 minute, I'm going to do my own highlights, and then we would close. Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. The only thing is that if you are too short, sometimes you might need to read. But once you get the main idea and you know the paragraph, it's all fine. But these are supporting statements that will make each paragraph less cumbersome for you. Some of us, yeah, somebody said year 1902, absolutely fine. You need to remember dates that were mentioned. Someone said Sonder moved to Memphis. Actually, you need to note that. I said in the main idea that he implemented store idea. Okay, different shop formats. So yes, And then someone said layout, lobby, sales department, and also the what do we call it? There's also the stock room. Yes, please. Okay, gallery, supervision, layout. Okay, I think you are going into too many details, but the thing I want you to, I will go and do it now myself, and I want us to practice when we come next week. This is what we are going to practice first because it is critical. You can spend 50 minutes doing your work with this, no matter how complex. I will bring another this thing that is maybe it is not about person, it's about a concept. Okay, now 1902, Abi moved to Memphis. Yeah. Okay, opened his own shop. Okay, some people are still sending. I will check your this thing now. All this that you are sending, you have all sent it. Okay. Okay. A shop. Okay, which was new okay. 3 different sections in the store and how each operated. I don't want to go into the details. The only thing is that when I see the question, I know where to pick my answer and I will go pick my answer. I don't want to memorize. Yes, 3 sections in the storeroom, how they operated. I can name the 3 sections, the front lobby, the gallery, and the stockroom. Yes. How they operated. So that is it. This summarizes everything. Everything. Okay. So I will open the floor now. If you have a question, please keep your background silent. It's recorded. For those who want to go over it again, you can request for it through the link you joined the class or check the YouTube channel if you are subscribed to it. I will upload it there. Okay, if you have any question now, I want to entertain any question before we close for tonight. Hello? Is this well understood?
Yes.
Okay, but the main thing is that you need to keep practicing it so that you will get some technical question, you think you can't use it, you can. The first key action word is always the decider. He moved to open his own store, to implement his idea. Just notice it, and the subsequent sentence which will explain what the person meant. Please, the main idea is the key thing. Don't be too concerned about all the grammar, all the explanation they are trying to say. What you are targeting is what is he trying to explain, period. So that is the thing. And by next week, I want to hear testimony because I've taught a lot of people in this reading aspect. They've got 9, they've got 8.5, they've gotten 8 with this method. Even people who have perennially scored 5.56. When I mean perennially, I mean they have had issues with reading and they thought they could not overcome it. They've been able to score 8.59 with this because you get to the exam hall, you know what you are looking for, you are not stressed. You are just picking your answers. That's the thing. Okay, so if you said it is okay, by next week, I will be judging you. Absolutely.
Honestly, some passages can be very boring, sir.
Some passages are boring, and I'm going to bring them in, and I'm going to solve some of them in your presence, and I'm going to tell you it's not because I teach it. One good thing about this thing is that sometimes I have a general slide I use in teaching, but these days I don't use them. I normally prepare my slide maybe 1 hour to go. So it is not because I read these things. As a matter of fact, this one, I just picked it this evening. Let me just present it. Because it is the same concept.
Okay.
Yes. The only thing, let me not lie to you, you need to apply it in various situations for you to understand it. Don't let the grammar or the explanation, what is he talking about? That's all. So that is it for tonight. We will meet again on Tuesday. But please keep practicing. For those who said they've been having issues in reading, keep practicing. By Tuesday, possibly, those who have issues in particular question type, one thing I need to tell you is that if you get this concept of main idea, you have solved your question type problem, whether it is matching task or it is true, false, not given. I will come. For those who have issues with matching task, there is no theory I'm going to give you again outside what I have taught today. This particular method solves matching task 100%. Yes, you only need to apply it more, irrespective of what they are saying. What is the main thing they are driving at? That's what you are looking for. That's all.
Okay, sir.
So, good night. We'll see you again on Tuesday. And please practice. You will lose the method if you don't practice. I've taught some people, they will come back, I forgot. I will teach them all over again. So that's it. So good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.